Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This is the first time I've been in the opposite side here. So I was sitting there, I'm like, I need to hit record. I need to do this. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I don't have to do that this time.
Oh, so we're
So,
your first interview that someone wanted to
yes.
interview you?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's awesome. It's very excited to be here. So, oh,
Awesome. And for anyone who doesn't know you, who are you and what do you do?
I don't want to give too much away. I'm Ginger. I have the JyngerSlapz YouTube channel that is dedicated to my love for gaming, music, and horror. So I do a lot of music reaction videos. I do some gaming live streams, and occasionally I'll throw out some special effects makeup. I haven't done that in quite some time, but it's there. And sometimes a movie review here and there. So a little bit of everything.
So I
Yeah,
wasn't able to go ahead, Jess.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, you're talking about horror. I'm like, so is Halloween your favorite holiday? Because it's definitely my favorite holiday.
Yes, 100%.
I love dressing up. It's so much fun. I don't
Oh,
think I'm that great at makeup, but I've had some people tell me my eye makeup, like just when I do like crazy eyeshadows and stuff for Halloween is great, but I'm not good with like special effects.
oh,
No
I'm
bueno.
sure.
It's really hard to cover up these eyebrows with glue sticks.
Yeah. I'm lucky mine are a little bit lighter. I have to color mine in to match my hair that I just colored like a month ago. But yeah, I started doing that when I was doing special effects makeup and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it actually works on me. Thank God. So
So what were you
So I
gonna
didn't,
say, Chris?
I was going to say I didn't have the opportunity to deep dive into your YouTube channel like way back when, but chicken or the egg question, which came first, the streaming or like the reaction videos?
so it's funny. It started off as a gaming channel. I was actually my friend Striker that I stream with and play games with on here. We were at the gym one night and he's like, you know what you should do? I'm like, what? He goes, you should start a gaming channel on YouTube. Just out of nowhere. I'm like, uh, okay. And 2 weeks later, bam, JyngerSlapz was created. And I think my first game I streamed or recorded was oh my God, I can't remember now. It's like painful to go back and look at the early stuff on the channel. I don't know if you guys have videos and stuff that you go back and look at and from the beginning, and it's just like, oh God. It's like Little Nightmare or Big Little Nightmare or something like that. I think that's what it was. But yeah. And I just kind of branched out from there. And then I did a horror movie um not interview. Oh my
Review.
God, review. Thank you. Jesus. It's been a long day. With another fellow YouTuber, Drum Dums. We did like a kind of like a collab on Conjuring. And yeah, so that started that. I did a couple movie reviews and then did some TikTok reaction videos and movie trailer reactions. And then one day Slipknot put out a new song called The Dying Song. And I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. I love music. Music's been a big part of my life since I was a kid. And did it, and that was rest was history. The music reactions.
Yeah. I know I have a few listeners that might be into like horror movies. Like, what are some of your favorite horror movies?
All right. Well, you can see back here on the wall, I have a love for Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein. The Universal monsters are great, but my all-time favorite is actually the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger is my man. He
I
has
at
the
my
best one-liners. I mean, you can't go wrong there.
It's funny because my hometown has an Elm Street, and when
Oh,
that movie
nice.
came out back in the day, or whenever I watched it as a kid, I was like, everyone was kind of afraid to go down Elm Street
Yeah.
after that. It's like, okay, I know
And
it's
house
not
have a red
real,
door.
but I don't know. I didn't look that closely if any
No,
of the houses had a red door.
that's awesome. I would have been going down that street. I'm a weirdo like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, I have weird quirks too. Everyone has weird quirks. Like you would go down Elm Street because of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I'll stay away from Elm Street because of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, we joke about stuff because I'll watch a serial killer documentary before going to bed and sleep fine. And I have friends that they'll watch a horror movie and they have to watch a Disney movie or something right after to calm their nerves. And I'm like, really? There's something wrong.
Jess, we never talked about that. What's your favorite horror movie?
I don't really have one because I'm not really huge into
No.
horror. I like Halloween, but I'm not really huge into horror. I watched all the Scream movies, but those really aren't funny or those are just kind of predictable.
Yeah.
I
Um,
remember watching Cujo as a kid.
You know
Actually,
that?
no, the Night of the Lepus, the bunny movie where the giant bunnies.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember that. I'm
I
gonna have
always
to.
remember that movie for some reason. I must have been on TV when I was a kid, and it's just these giant killer bunnies.
I'm gonna have to go back and like look at this. Cujo, though, you said Cujo. That
Yeah,
terrified me as a kid.
it did. It's me.
Yeah.
Did me
I'm
as
like,
well,
oh,
you know. Maybe
kid
that's why I don't like horror movies.
could be. Jaws gave me a terrifying I was so scared to take a bath for the longest time. I take showers after watching Jaws because irrational fear
Yeah.
Jaws was going to be in my bathtub. So
Or
I get it.
Piranha. Piranha
Oh, yes. Oh my
going in a
God.
lake after that.
Yes. And that's where I grew up in Florida. It was lakes because I was like in the middle of the state, Central Florida, and that's all we have are lakes
Yeah.
there. And yeah,
I
let's
live
go knee.
in here in Wisconsin. It's called Lake Country where I live. So we have
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of lakes as well.
yeah. Damn piranha.
Darn piranhas. What about you, Chris?
I don't know if it qualifies as horror, but The Orphanage.
I, hey, that could be. Kids are creepy.
I'm curious, have you seen it?
It has been a while. I'll have to go back and give that a rewatch, and I'll get back to you
Y-
on that one. But I can vaguely
Yeah.
remember.
It's yeah, where the woman buys like an old orphanage and she thinks her kid has disappeared. It's insane, and she's convinced it's spirits that took her kid. It's a crazy movie. The worst one, and I don't know if it's the worst horror movie I've seen, but what happened was I went to see this movie in theaters and they accidentally let us into the wrong theater
Oh no.
that was playing the end of this movie instead of us, seeing it from the beginning. So I saw the ending of the movie and I was pissed and I didn't want to go see the whole movie like because I knew what was going to happen. It was 1408.
Oh, with Cusack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's like stuck in the hotel room or he thinks he's stuck in a hotel room.
yeah, that
So
was a crazy
we
one.
we got came into the theater as the hotel was blowing up.
Oh,
And we're like, okay, well, we know how this ends.
oh no.
Spoiler
That's
alert in
awful.
case
Yeah.
anyone's
Yeah.
seen this.
So the whole time my friend and I under our breath, like anytime anything happened in the movie, we're like, hotel blows up. And I guess somebody heard us and we got in trouble.
Oh no.
But it's okay. It
Oops.
was a bad movie anyway.
The original spoiler.
Yeah.
It was a B. It was a B movie.
No,
No worse.
no, no. Yeah, it was not
Trying
good.
to think who else was in that because I knew there was another big name in that movie, wasn't there?
Let me pull it up.
Oh, there you go.
John Cusack, Samuel Jackson.
That's it. How can I forget Samuel L. Jackson?
Yep.
I mean, it sounds like it was an older movie, so
It's not worth rewatching.
I'll vouch for that.
well then I'll never watch it, Chris. I'll never watch it.
Just remember, hotel blows up.
Darn, you ruined it for me.
Better put a disclaimer in this.
All right. Getting back on track now that we've discussed some horror movies. Although that we had a good conversation about that. So
Yeah.
being a female in a pretty dominant male world, what have been some of your biggest obstacles or challenges you have faced becoming a streamer, gamer, YouTuber, and a metal fan?
Oh, I don't know because well, the world of metal, everybody's pretty welcoming there. It's like going to shows and everything. Everybody thinks that you listen to angry music and that you're just angry people, but when you go to a show, you're all just one. And I'm actually going to Welcome to Rockville this Friday, and I'm really excited about it because everybody's just so cool. And if you get in the pit, everybody's really cool there. You fall down, they pick you up. I haven't really had any huge obstacles. I mean, I've had some not so friendly comments in the comment section saying, because I do have subscribers that will send me stuff. gifts and everything. Like I have a couple of things here that were sent to me, or they'll donate to get equipment for the channel and whatnot. But I've had some nasty comments where somebody said that because I'm a female, I get things handed to me and get things sent to me. And I just kind of ignore it. I brush it off because I don't have time for the negativity there. So, I mean, other than that, and everything's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned like the comments and everything because I was like going to be my next question because
Oh,
my husband tends to game a lot on my Xbox account, but he's under my name.
oh no.
So he gets a lot of random like guys talking to him, trying to hit on him and stuff while he's gaming, but it's like it's not even me because my gamer name is J Marie Holla, so it's
Yeah.
obviously a girl.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, you don't want to hear some of the comments I get sometimes, he tells me, and I'm like, okay.
I
Okay,
can
and I'll
only
get random
imagine.
messages.
Hmm.
All because they think he's a girl, but he's
He should roll with it one time.
not.
Uh, yeah, people are fun.
That's a one word for it.
Yeah. Being positive about it, right? I've had some interesting I haven't streamed on Twitch in a while. I've been doing it primarily on YouTube just because everything has been on there lately and Twitch is kind of in another whatever. And my inbox on there sometimes will be a little spicy. I'm just like, oh boy. Like, let's not go there, guys. Thank you very much. I'm flattered, but
Can people send pictures?
I don't think so. I hope not. That hasn't happened yet.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I've known
Let
some
me-
friends that have been on a lot of dating apps and they don't get some nice pictures.
No, I can imagine. Ugh.
I can only imagine like someone sending random pictures like that to someone that's a gamer, like,
Yeah.
oh, how cool are you?
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't experienced that and I hope it stays that way.
Let's hope, fingers crossed, it stays
Yes.
that way.
Uh, too much
What have been
spice for me.
what have been some of your favorite games to stream?
Oh, there was for quite some time, Phasmophobia. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, a ghost hunting game. When I was primarily streaming by myself, I would play that and get the shit scared out of me constantly. And everybody loved that to see me scream and get freaked out and everything because, the horror loving horror gaming streamer here and she's getting all freaked out. That was one of my favorites, but right now I am stuck on Helldivers too. Like, that's all I've been streaming. I was streaming Ark for a while, and then Helldivers 2 came out and it just ruined me. It is so much fun. So get a little bit of Terminator with the automatons and my goodness, I can't think of the name. I'm losing cool points here. Fighting the bug, Starship Troopers.
Yeah,
I believe that's it. Yes.
I think
Um,
so.
yeah. So it's really awesome. If you haven't checked that out on the channel. But
Have you ever started in on a game with high hopes for it, and then as you're playing it, like the gameplay just, yeah,
yeah.
really tanks your opinion of that game?
There's been quite a few of those. Do I remember the names of them? No. There's been quite a few games that I've played where you get like one play out of it and then it's like, all right, I'm over it. Like, I don't really want to name any names, but if you go through my channel towards like the early stuff, you'll see. If you only see like one video of that game, then it was kind of a bust. I had games where I've actually recorded playing them and I didn't finish because I was just like, this isn't good. So
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Why would you post it if it's not any good?
exactly. And I have other people like post everything, post it. I'm like, no, no, there's some things that I recorded and I'm just like, why did I do that? I am a
Well,
very awkward individual and sometimes I do things and say things and I'm just like,
right. And I mean, why would you, if you recorded something and you didn't like it, why would you post it? Because then what if somebody else does like it? They might want to see more of that, but you don't want to
exactly.
post anymore because you
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that would definitely happen. I could see that happening.
Feel
There's
like
there's a there's a gamer on YouTube that does that. I don't know if you've heard of Sam Tabor. Um,
Mm-mm.
he does that. He'll post a video of a game, even if he didn't like playing it, and his editor will make the game look fun. But at the end, he always asks, if you want to see more of this game, and then if he didn't enjoy himself, he'll sarcastically, but not sarcastically, be like, "Don't."
I like
He'll be like, "Leave it in the comments, but
that.
don't."
Just I like that. Not a bad idea, actually. If I had an editor.
right.
Yeah.
So
One day.
back in the day, I was big into
Mhm.
like Call of Duty and Halo for a while. I wasn't good at all. I was terrible. I died a lot. Let's just say I died a lot. And my friends enjoyed killing me and teabagging me, of course.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
yes. What games were you super into back in the day, but you weren't very good at?
Um, I would say Call of Duty was one of them. I played for a little while. I'm like, and DayZ. I don't know if you played DayZ at all. It's another survival game with zombies and stuff. I streamed that quite a few times. I was absolutely terrible at it, but I kept going with it just because it was the thing at the time.
Right.
So yeah, Call of Duty I was not good at either. And that's why I like Helldivers. I'm surprised it's a shooting game. So I'm like, I'm actually decent at this.
Right.
But yeah, used to stay away from shooting games just because of that, because I was like, I want to go back to Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I had my cousin's daughter was really into Fortnite for a while, and I tried playing Fortnite, and I'm not good at that either.
I never played that. I have so many friends that still play it, and it's still really popular, which I'm kind of surprised. I downloaded it. I went that far, but never played it.
Right.
Just because I had other friends and Striker who I stream with. He's like, don't play that. I'm like, okay. Yes, sir.
Well, I just figured I could play with my cousin's daughter, you know. She
Yeah.
was online. I'm like, oh, and then she probably would just kill me because
Yeah.
she was
Oh
really good
no.
at it and I was not good at it. So I'm getting beaten by like a 10-year-old.
Oh, yeah, that happens. Oh, word of advice, if you play Helldivers 2, there is friendly fire in that game.
Well,
It's actually a lot of fun. Especially if somebody makes you mad on your team. It has happened. We'll drop a
oops,
bomb. Oops.
it wasn't me.
It makes for a
Wasn't
good
me.
time. And then the teabagging happens, so it's good times. I don't know if you ever played Party Animals. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. Chris might know a little
Party Animals
more.
is great.
Yes. You're in tears laughing. You're these
Yeah.
cute little animals and you just go and beat the crap out of each other. It's fantastic. Whoever came up with that, you're amazing.
I love the fact that you can knock yourself out with the nunchucks too.
Every time, never fails because I can't help it. I have to keep swinging them and it's like I know it's going to happen, but I'm doing it anyways.
Have you played any other like I'll call it wacky games? Anything else aside from like Party Animals?
Oh my goodness.
What about like Goat Simulator?
I haven't, but I watch Neebs Gaming a lot. I love those guys and I've seen them play it. And I've watched IGP, they play some of that stuff too. I have not tried it myself. Um, I did try to play VR before because I was going to do a couple of the silly VR games. And I tried Phasmophobia and I was actually streaming it live and got sick. Luckily, I didn't do it on camera. I took the VR set off and ran, but you could like faintly hear in the background. It was horrible, and I think it's still on the channel somewhere. So no, I haven't really dove into any other silly games, but I'm always looking just to see what grabs my attention and might grab other people's attention out there and bring them in.
Um, a
Yeah.
really a really good, I'm gonna call it silly game, is Placid Plastic Duck Simulator.
I haven't heard that one.
So it slowly over time, I think it adds like a minute in between each spawn. You just get a random plastic duck drop into a pool, and the whole point of the game is to sit there and watch them move around.
Oh my God.
And that's all you do. You just sit there. There is some things that you can do, like there's like a code for a secret door to like do secret things and like, but for the most part, you just sit there and watch different ducks drop into your pool. And
Oh, I might have to check that out.
I think I think according to my Steam, I have like 52 hours in the game.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
I should have pulled my Steam up. I could have told you. I'll have to look that one up then. Might be entertaining.
My husband's always talking about this one game that when we go over to our friend's house, they always want to like randomly play it. I think it's called like Astro Bears or
What is
something.
that?
I think it's on PlayStation, and it's like just you're just these bears and you're jumping over things and not trying to like run into someone's like stream that comes behind them and like get away. I don't know. For some reason he's like addicted to it and he's like, I wish we could have it.
You had me at bears, so
I think
might
it
have
was
to look
called
into this one.
Astro Bears. I
Astro
don't
Bears.
remember. I'll have to figure out what it was called and let
Yeah,
you
let me
know.
know. Yes, let me know that one.
But it's not even like really a game. It's just like you're running around on this giant globe and there's four people trying to not hit each other's, like you're leaving a trail behind you. You're trying not to hit that trail. You have to jump over it and turn around. So in a
I
way,
can.
it's kind of like Snake, just with
Oh
bears.
yeah. Okay, I can see that being really fun. Actually,
I
check
don't
that
know
one
how
out.
fun it is when you're drinking, because I feel like you'd probably be a little less likely to survive. But
That'd probably make it more fun.
yep, that's usually why they play it
Yeah,
because they've been drinking.
yeah. That's usually how those games go. The sillier the game, the drunker you are to play it.
It's true. It's true. We play a lot of Jackbox when we're over there. So,
Oh yeah. Nice.
so if you could choose only one old school gaming console to play the rest of your life, all games are included though. Which would you choose and why?
The Super Nintendo. I was a huge fan of Super Mario Brothers and Yoshi. When Yoshi came out with Super Mario Brothers, hands down, my favorite right there. So I have it on my Wii or whatever it is. The Switch. That's what it is.
The
Yeah.
Switch. The Switch.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still there.
I have a Switch too. I pretty much got it to play Animal Crossing though. So
I've never played that.
yeah, I don't think I've turned it on in like another 6 months, you know.
Yeah. That's probably been about that long since I've turned on mine. Get Mario Kart. You can't go wrong there. So
Lots of Mario Kart has been played
yeah,
over the years.
it's
Even
good
not
stuff.
just on Switch, on other things, you know. They've
Yeah.
had it on other consoles before.
Yeah. Yeah. So huge
My
fan.
my my console would have to be like Sega Genesis though.
Sonic.
Uh-huh. The
Yep.
Sonic like was my favorite thing, especially like Sonic 2 or 3, whichever one Tails can fly in. I can't
Oh,
remember.
I can't.
I
God,
think
it's
it's
been so
2
I think it
long.
is too.
Yeah, I think so. No, that was a good one too.
because I
We
wanted to
used-
be Tails all the
Yeah.
time because he's a cute little fox. Come on now.
Yes.
And you can
See,
fly
no,
through
like
all the episodes, you know. Fly through
Yeah.
all the
Yeah, I think we
Sonic.
actually used to fight over that. My friends and I when I was a kid. So
I still have a
Sonic
Sega
just
Genesis
pisses
too.
me off.
Sonic. Oh no.
It pisses me off like every time like I'm going through the level and then I hit something and lose all of my rings. I'm like, all right, nope, I'm done.
Like, no, rage quit.
Yep. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Absolutely.
Hey, there's been like on the regular NES, Mario Brothers. I forget which level it was, but there's like that huge gap you got to jump over, and it's like this little peg that you have to jump
Yeah.
on, and you just fall off. My controller went flying a couple times when I was a kid. I was like, I'm too young to get this angry, but
I remember playing old school Nintendo and I'd always play like Goonies. Did you ever play Goonies?
I never played that one. No.
Goonies or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what my brother had. Yep.
Yeah, we Friday nights, my sister and I, my dad would take us to Blockbuster and we pick out a movie and then a video game to have for the weekend. And we used to get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a lot, and then the Ghostbusters game for the regular Nintendo. That Ghostbusters one, man. There's a couple levels on that.
Have you
Yeah.
played Shredder's Revenge?
I haven't. It's still on my wish list. I need to get it. I've been so sidetracked with other things, and it keeps popping up every once in a while. I'm like, oh, dang it. But have you played that one?
Yeah, it's very, very true to like the original
Oh, okay.
original series and just as frustrating.
Yeah.
But in a good way. It's not like the Sonic you lose all your shit when you hit something. Um, it's they still have like the pizza box power-ups and all that
Oh,
other stuff.
nice. Okay,
So
I'm
it's
definitely
well
gonna check
worth
that
it.
out. Okay, I will actually probably maybe get that this weekend.
Okay, 1 second. I totally forgot my freaking laptop charger.
Oh
And I'm at 17%. So I'll be back for
Who's the
one
prepared
second.
one, Jess? Who's
Hey,
the
I am
prepared?
usually the prepared one.
no. It
Oh
happens.
gosh. It's funny because like at work, if I'm on Teams and someone is sharing their screen and their battery is low, I'll immediately unmute myself and be like, "You need to plug your computer in."
Nice.
Like my anxiety won't let their computer die
That's
because I'll
awesome
just sit
though.
I'll sit there the entire meeting staring at it like
Do it.
17%. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I used to be like that with my dad's gas tank because I forget what kind of car it was when I was a kid, and I had the lines, and the lines would disappear as your gas was going down. And I'm like, Dad, you need to stop eating gas. You only have 2 lines left. So I get
My
it.
Yeah, my younger son, so I have two kids. I have a 13-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I picked up my 4-year-old from daycare earlier, and he's looking at the infotainment screen. He's like, "Dad, you're going 76 miles an hour?" I was like, "No, no, no, that's the temperature." And then he's like, "Oh, you're going 321." I'm like, "No, it's the time."
Getting closer.
Getting closer. Uh,
All
Oh,
right.
kids,
Well,
great.
now my laptop won't die while we're talking.
yay.
Hey, there's a first time for everything, Chris, right? Now I'll never forget it, right?
There you go.
And I tried texting my husband and he's gaming right now, so he did not get my text.
Of course. Important stuff going on.
Yeah,
So
he's been really into Red Redemption, but the cowboy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
like
was
gotten popular again.
Yeah, I actually had it pulled up the other day, and was debating whether or not to give it a shot. Um, if it drops down in price, I probably will, but $60 for
That's
a
where I am
game.
with it too. I've
Yeah.
I've been wanting to play it, but like the price, I'm like, eh.
Like, come on, come
Yeah.
down.
Well, before he was into Vikings Valhalla, so
Oh, nice.
that one he liked the Viking stuff, so
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite platformers?
For like streamers or
No, anything.
oh, um, caught me off guard here.
Like, platformer video games. Sorry, let me.
Oh, video games. For
Yeah,
all right, so like for Nintendo or
any system doesn't
any
matter.
system. Yeah. Oh my God. I've been
there's
on
too many.
PC for so long. I like primarily PC now. Like I have a PlayStation 4. I haven't gotten a 5. Um, and I have the Switch. So, but everything's on PC. I am a PC player.
So
And
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. It's fine.
I was gonna say you mentioned that you would your favorite like old school system would have been the Super Nintendo. I'm kind of curious because then you mentioned like when Yoshi came along, were you big into Yoshi's Island?
I played a little bit of that. I was more just about Mario getting on Yoshi and eating the berries and everything and flying with them and whatnot. It's been a long time since I played Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite game from back in the day. And then when they did the expansion pack for Mario Kart and they did a Yoshi's Island track, they did it so beautifully. Like I was like, oh my gosh, a video game is not going to bring me tears. I swear to God, right now. Like they did it so amazingly that I was that moved by it, and I'm like, this is a little ridiculous. But
So, Universal Studios, have you seen Epic Universe that they're
yeah, the
building?
preview
Hmm.
for Nintendo World, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I think that's going to have a lot of us crying when we go in there.
That's the
That's
one in
definitely like
Florida,
probably,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that they're
My
building the
cousin's probably helping build that because she works for Universal Studios in set
Oh,
design.
awesome. That's awesome. I am there at least once a year for Halloween Horror Nights, so love Universal, huge Universal fan.
Yeah, I would love to go to like Disney and Universal around like Halloween time. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and I've never been to Disney during their Halloween, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, but Halloween Horror Nights, I try to go every year. It is absolutely fantastic, and I 100% recommend it if you love Halloween and horror.
Do they still blast the commercials for it like every other commercial on TV for
I
horror
don't
nights?
I don't think they're as bad now. I cut the cable cord a long time ago, but I'll see it pop up, I mean, on like YouTube and stuff like that during the season. And I would say they're still pretty good about getting the commercials out there, and they're pretty awesome commercials. I always enjoy those. I'm a sucker for anything Halloween, so
Right?
Yeah, those 2 years I spent in Tampa, that's all I remember is during that season. Like those were the only commercial on
yeah.
TV during that time. It felt like wow, Universal is spending the big money here.
Yeah, they do. And then you have Busch Gardens and now SeaWorld that both have Hallow Scream. So they have their little Halloween thing as well, which I haven't been to yet. So maybe this year.
Yeah, my wife used to go to the Howl Scream with her friends. They had the annual passes, and she said at one point, like a clown was following her or something like that, and she was like cowering,
Oh
and
no.
her friend had to be like, "No, seriously, don't."
No, no.
And the performer just walked away.
Oh,
Mm.
They were just
yeah.
doing their job.
Yeah. They're doing it
Yeah.
well, apparently. I am one of the weirdos that actually likes clowns. I have a lot of friends that hate clowns, and actually somebody I used to work for at my last job, he was terrified of clowns, and his wife made me go see it when I was working there, the new one. So the next day before he came in the office, one of my other coworkers, there was a yellow rain jacket sitting by his door. We took it and put it up on his chair and put a balloon underneath it so that it looked like a head. And then we tied a red balloon to the chair. So when he walked in, he flipped out because he thought it was my God, what is his name from it? The little boy. My memory is horrible. But yeah, it looked like the little boy standing there with the red balloon for Pennywise. So got him really good. I was proud of myself.
Nice. Yeah, I'm always scaring people at work. But I don't
It's
even try.
fun.
This one kid at work, you could just walk up behind him when he doesn't even know, and he'll turn around and you don't make a sound, and he's like, "Oh God."
Those are the best. It's like, calm down, you're gonna have a heart attack one day.
That's okay. He's a strange one. And when I was younger, my brother and I used to like scare people on a haunted hayride. So that
Oh,
was always fun.
nice. I've done that a time or two in a little town I grew up in Central Florida. The haunted trail they had out there. That was always a blast. Scaring people's fun.
It is fun. I love it.
Last time I went on a haunted hayride, I was like 7 or something like that. And I guess some guy with a chainsaw was like chasing the back of it, and I kicked him in the nuts. So,
How'd you manage that? You were on a wagon.
yeah, exactly. So he must have been really close.
That's
And I
awesome.
was like 7, so yeah.
Forgivable offense there.
So, shifting a little bit, when you create reaction videos, are they all blind reactions, or do you find yourself listening beforehand at all?
I try to keep everything a blind reaction. I have done a few videos which I called Ginger's Jukebox. I did several of them where I would go back and revisit songs that were my favorite songs, because I'll have listeners and subscribers that will come on and be like, so what were some of your favorite songs growing up, or at any time of your life? And then I was like, well, why don't I just do reactions to these songs? But I put out there that I'm familiar with this song. I love this song, and I've heard it millions of times before. But primarily, all the videos I've done for music videos are blind reactions.
Have you started listening to a song before, and you don't have to name the song? Have you started listening to one before and be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't follow through on this?
Yes. There has been a couple, and I'm like, yeah, because I know I had somebody comment actually recently in one of my videos, like, you like all the songs you react to. Why don't you put any songs out there that you don't like? And I'm like, why am I going to share a song that I don't like?
Right.
Um, there has been super thanks requests. I've had people put in there and they'll like pay for a request. And there's been a couple of times where the songs were like a little not so much my taste, but I'll find something in there to say positive about it. I won't go bashing any of the songs or whatnot. So I try to keep everything uh my liking.
Right.
So, but yes, there's been a couple of times where I'm just like, next.
Yeah, Chris, like our one episode that we should have just nixed.
Yeah, we should have. Whoops,
Oh
sorry.
no.
We did an episode early on, so our original idea for this platform was to have episodes where we talk music, just Jess and I, and then also do interviews. The thing that we found happening, at least, is now like we're pretty packed with interviews, wouldn't you say, Jess?
We are.
Um, and so we haven't gotten back to it, but one of the first episodes we did was we decided to give music that we didn't used to like back in the day a second chance. Like we purposely have avoided those bands, we didn't listen to them, and we're like, hey, let's try and listen. Maybe our music tastes have changed and maybe we'll like them now. It was a terrible idea because we tried, I did 5 songs each for each band, and you did like 10, Jess? You
I
did a
don't
lot
remember.
more than you did more than I did.
I listened
And
to more, yes.
it was bad. It
Oh
was
no.
very, very hard to get through.
I can
Needless to say,
imagine.
I don't like any of the bands I didn't like back then still.
Still the same.
Still the
Still the
same.
same.
Yeah, I've done live reaction streams on Twitch before, and there's a few bands that are extremely popular that I don't care for, and a couple of singers that are extremely popular that I don't care for, and people will throw those in there, and it's just like I'm like, do 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 do. Let's finish this.
You kind of just have to,
Grin and bear it.
grin and bear it, smile and
Yeah.
nod.
Yes, I do a lot of that in my life.
Me too. I
Always a
work in
smile.
retail.
Oh
Gotta
yeah.
smile and nod. Yes, yeah.
Yes. Especially around Thanksgiving and Christmas time.
It's a
Black
good thing I
Friday.
don't react with customers, like interact with customers too often since I work more in the back.
Oh, that's good. That is
So,
good. Yeah.
but when I do, smile and nod.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. My face gets me in trouble sometimes. I can't. It doesn't use its outdoor voice. And I can be smiling, but my face says something totally different.
It
So,
happens.
yes.
It definitely
Mm,
happens.
That
not
is
a good
me.
poker face.
I have 2 faces. I have my normal this and then laughing. There's like no in between. And like I'll pose for a picture and like smile and I think I'm smiling and then I see the picture and I'm like, oh, just my normal face. Like maybe I'm thinking happy smiley thoughts and like I feel like I'm smiling, but it doesn't happen.
Your brain can't compute.
It can't.
It
It really
happens.
can't. And like that's why it blows my mind when I worked retail, I had like customers that liked me. Like, why? Even if I enjoyed the conversation, you wouldn't know it. Um,
That's hilarious.
oh.
Back to talking about your reaction videos. You've done songs, like new songs from a lot of like amazing bands and artists. What are some of your most memorable and favorite reactions you can think of off the top of your head?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Um, oh my gosh. Well, I have to say the one reaction video I did that got my channel up there and brought in so many amazing subscribers to the channel was actually Nightwish Ghost Love Score. And that was my introduction into Nightwish. And that just kind of went into a whole rabbit hole of awesomeness there. But I would have to say, because I've been a huge fan of Stained for a very, very long time. And they finally dropped their new album and their first single, Lowest in Me. And I did a reaction video to it. So I was just super excited. Aaron's in there growling, and I'm like, oh my God, mind blown. We're back to the early Stained. And I don't know how many weeks later it was. Somebody's like, hey, check Instagram. And I'm like, what? And I guess Stain's Instagram had a clip of reactors reacting to the video, and there I am. and they have me speaking in it, like one of the parts where I said something in it, and I'm just like, oh my God, I was fangirled for days after that. It was like, it's so amazing. So that was really awesome. And yeah, couldn't help but fangirl.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to fangirl and fanboy out, right, Chris?
Do I fanboy at times? I'm not. My wife and I have always said like if we were on The Price is Right and they called our name, we'd be like, oh God, I
Oh
gotta
no.
get up. Like all the people are like jumping and happy, and we were like, okay, and we just like meander on down, like
Well, why'd you even go then, though?
to win money and have
But that's
fun.
the
But
point. If you
again,
get
you
calls,
don't
you have
know
to be
that I'm having fun.
excited.
Yeah. And then you get called up there to do Plinko. That'd be amazing. That's
Okay,
like
no,
Well,
my
Plinko would elicit a legitimate reaction from me.
yeah. That is hands down my favorite game on that game show. So
But having to stand up and walk down some kind of sloped aisle, like that doesn't look like fun.
I
And
could
like all those people who have like broken those light bulbs that surround the stage, like no, I'm no.
tuck and roll down the aisle, make it, worth everybody's while to watch.
I don't know, man. Working in retail for like, 10 years at Kmart, I would have known some prices if I was on The Price is Right, for sure.
That would have been awesome.
Although it's filmed in like California, so the California prices, I gotta up my price a little.
Yes, by a couple dollars at least. Spent many of days in school when I'm homesick with Bob Barker. So
So generally, you react to heavier music on your channel. Curious if there is some lighter music, if you will, mixed into your playlist.
there is the lead singer of Nightwish, Floor Jansen. She actually has her own album out, and it's more along the popish style of things. So she's a little bit on the lighter side. Um, I mean, I got a little mixture of different kind of rock genres on there. Got my metalcore, which I absolutely love and adore metalcore. The symphonic metal with Nightwish, and then I have my deathcore, Lorna Shore, Slaughter to Prevail, just to name a couple of them there. Um, yeah, I haven't really. Okay, so I grew up on country music, and I still have a strong love for country music, but I have yet to do a country music reaction video. I don't know how that would go over, but I just keep an eye out. I'm sure there'll be one coming up these days to be on the softer side of things.
I mean, you gotta be well-rounded, right?
Yeah, yeah. The only thing I don't care for is jazz music. And I'm kind of vocal about that in streams and on music reaction videos. People have asked, so 'cause I don't love all music.
I, that has me curious. So, have you listened to the number 12 Looks Like You?
I have not.
Okay. So they're like grindcore, like mid 2000s to I think they broke up in like 2010, 2011. But they're grindcore, but then like in the middle of their songs and amidst the chaos, they play jazz riffs.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, in the screaming type, I like to call it teenage girls getting stabbed.
Okay.
Um
I'm curious.
Yeah, definitely. Their first album is the best. It's called Nuclear Sad Nuclear. Definitely check it out.
Nice.
It's they song recommendation would be Like a Cat.
Like, all right, that sounds good.
Yep.
He brings
I
these guys up so much. I
yeah.
haven't even checked them out yet.
Oh
It's
no.
beautiful, chaotic disharmony, and it all makes sense when you listen to them.
I like
I'm gonna have
that.
to listen to it
Yeah.
finally.
Definitely have to check that out myself. Electric Callboy. Now that I think about it, because I don't really care for techno music, but it's like mixed with metal, and it's fantastic. And I actually get to see them this Friday, so I'm pretty excited.
I was gonna say, I think they're on tour or going on tour.
Yeah, I am so excited for Fridays. Be my first time with them, so
Jess,
Yeah,
what
you
has this podcast introduced you to? That's outside your norm that you're listening to now.
I don't know. I
You
feel
don't
like
know?
I don't think it's introduced me to too much. I mean, we haven't had anyone on the podcast that I mean, I've found a lot of bands on Instagram through the podcast, but it's usually stuff I would listen to
Yeah.
on the regular. What about
Yeah.
you, Chris?
Oh, you know this answer. I posted my picture yesterday.
Yeah.
I've
Senses?
gotten no like so Senses is one of them, but like I've gotten really into like emo pop. Like, and I would have never, that's what I call it. I don't know if that's really a genre. But I would have never pegged myself as getting into it. It's like really on the poppy side of things. So like the band Senses, Churches, um, Honey Revenge, Stand Atlantic. It's like poppier music, but it's deeply rooted in emo music. Like with the
Hmm.
lyrics and the feel of it. And I would have never pegged myself as liking it. Like, I was big into like As I Lay Dying and Haste the Day and like Early A Day to
Nice.
Remember and all of that. And like, so now for me to look back and be like, oh, this emo pop stuff is fantastic is just, it took me by surprise. But
I
for like the
mean,
last
So let's
three
check
or
that
four
out.
months,
you probably listened to like All American Rejects back in the day and still do. They were poppier,
I've seen
yeah.
them in
But,
concert.
you know?
but for
So
like,
like,
but the majority of what I listened to was metalcore. So I mean,
see, and I was the opposite. I started out poppy and got harder. So I like was like
Nice.
Simple Plan.
Yeah.
And then I
Oh,
and then I got into like, Amir.
nice. That's awesome.
But that was all like the when I was street teaming for Victory Records. I was getting into all
Oh,
their harder bands and stuff
that's awesome.
and
But that
all
was
that.
fun.
It was fun. I mean, it's Victory Records, but and there's a lot of baggage with that, but
You
it was still
know?
fun. It was still fun doing the street team work and you got into shows for free and stuff because of it and got free merch and all that. So I mean, come on, there was some perks.
Plus, I don't know if you might have a dog going crazy over here.
I haven't heard anything.
Okay. I was just want to make sure they have to come in the room with me because they'll freak out if they're not in here. And the one likes they have their own little bed in here and they like
Yeah.
to crawl under the blankets and he starts grunting like a pig and stuff. So
We've
if
had
you hear
quite a
anything.
few we've had quite a few dogs make appearances on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, I'm surprised he
yeah,
hasn't popped up over here yet. He likes that.
Even Chris's dog.
yeah, she's in her bed. I played with her outside for like an hour and a half. Like I'll kick this ball and she'll just chase it and then want me to come and kick it again. And we did it for like an hour. So she is pooped.
Done.
Yeah.
Nice.
She is done. She's out. I don't have a dog right now. I have a lot of dogs in my life, but I don't have a dog specifically. I just have two hamsters.
Oh, have hamsters. That's all I was allowed to have when I was a kid.
Yeah, they're not as much of as fun as you thought would think they are because sometimes they just don't like you.
Yeah. Yes.
Wait,
Especially
you also have Sea Monster.
Oh, at work. I work at a thrift store and someone donated one of those like kits for kids that you could grow like sea monsters.
Oh
They're
wow.
not they're not they're not sea monkeys. These ones are like the prehistoric sea monsters. So
Oh,
they're called triops.
okay.
Man, that thing it's like a prehistoric crustacean.
It's kind of cool.
And he is pretty freaky looking. And he
Yeah.
did eat his house guests.
Oh no,
So,
that's rude.
but I was like, I'm just gonna grow these guys and see if they hatch and stuff. Like someone donated it, whatever. We would have made like $3 off of it or something,
Yeah.
whatever. And my boss is like, all right, whatever.
Sold.
So I just have my work pet.
That's awesome.
I
I'll have to
call
look into one
I
of those.
call him Zippy
Oh, that's cute.
because he's just always moving around.
Yeah. Oh.
But all right, enough about sea monsters now. Tony Hawk Pro Skater was and still is an amazing soundtrack. It influenced many people. I discovered Goldfinger, Suicide Machines because of it, and it definitely helped influence my emo kid journey. How many new bands or artists have you discovered because of your gaming?
Oh, that is a good question too. I don't know if I've discovered any new bands from gaming. I mentioned Tony Hawk, Offspring, taxi cab driver. Was that what it was called? Crazy
Crazy
Taxi.
Taxi.
That's it. They had the Offspring on there, and I was introduced to the song that was on there. The Kids Aren't All Right. I think that's what it was.
Yep.
I don't know if any new songs. I don't really listen to the soundtracks and
Right.
stuff. But I know my favorite band, Avenged Sevenfold, had one of their songs in Call of Duty, and I thought that was pretty badass. So, yeah, now I'm gonna have to go back and look and get back to you on that one.
Right? It's like it's hard though. I feel like songs in games nowadays, like soundtracks for games, it's a little different than it used to be.
Yes.
Like they
Yeah.
don't actually do songs. It's like a lot of techno stuff probably and just like
Instrumental
instrumental
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good question.
Now you're trying to think like, ooh,
I know.
who was in games that I didn't realize was in games that I already listened to?
Yeah, now I'm gonna go and like Google this and I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram. I'm like, look, I have answers.
Well, only because I've been obsessed with them lately, but the theme from Mirror's Edge Catalyst, that was a Church's song.
I don't know this game you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know
You
that
don't
one
know?
either.
You don't know Mirror's Edge?
I don't. Guys, look this up too. Cool points are going down for me.
Hey, you know what? To each their own. Maybe it's not the type of game you would play.
There are so many games out there,
It's true.
and it's I will go through like once a week on Steam and I'll look through stuff and then I'll start watching videos or I'll watch other people playing it on YouTube and whatnot. And then I get caught up in this whole thing and then I go play Helldivers or Ark or something. It's like, oh God. Yeah, on track mine.
You're just
But
obsessed with Helldivers.
I am. It's so bad. And they have like new gear dropping on Thursday and I'm really excited because they have this camo. And it looks sick. I feel like a little kid. So there'll probably be a stream coming.
See, I do the same thing on Steam. Like I'll go through the little, what do they call that? Like the Discover queue or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I'll go through that, but then I'll deep dive even further, and just kind of like either watch videos or see what people are streaming and then check out the
Hmm.
game. I'm really, I don't know. I'm relatively niche in the games I play. Like I like the weird games that I was mentioning. Like I like the weird one-off. Why would you even play that game? And then like open world, complete discovery kind of stuff.
Nice. Yeah, with the unique games there, the odd games, I think that brings people in because it's like, what the heck is this? Because I don't know, like early noobs gaming, they played so many games that were just like, where did you even find this? And then you're like in a rabbit hole watching every series they ever did of this game. But I understand that.
Do you remember the game Oddworld? It was on PC.
I have heard of it. I've never played it.
Yeah, it was like Oddworld, Abe's Exodus or something like that. It was so strange. My dad's wife was really into it for a while.
Oh, that's awesome. I have to go look at that one. I
But
remember.
it's old
Okay.
school, that's for sure.
Yeah.
1997-ish.
Okay. Yeah. Oregon Trail.
Yeah, well, who doesn't know Oregon Trail?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites there.
I mean, everyone dies of dysentery at some point,
Yes.
right?
That's such a good one. And I think there was one Amazon Trail too, but it wasn't as good.
I played this PC game too called Loom. It was called Loom, and you had this like staff that you had to like make musical notes that opened up and cast spells or something
Oh,
and do
I don't
things in
know
the
if
game. I was super addicted to it when I was younger. I don't know.
that sounds like something I would have been into. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. There was this one game, it was called Lemmings. You remember
Lemmings,
it?
yes.
Yes. They follow each other and they'd fall off a cliff one right after another.
Yeah, you had to make sure they didn't die.
Yeah, I was really bad at that. Bye. Good luck, little guys. Huh.
Sorry, not sorry.
It's so cute. Look at him go.
So, to take a left turn in these questions, just curious, Do you have any favorite comedians?
This
Are
is
you,
like the
I was gonna say, are you into comedy? Like, do
I
you
oh
like
yes,
comedians?
No,
I
we're skipping
do.
that question, Jess.
We're just going right into it. We're going to assume, of course. And now,
Or
who
if she doesn't
though?
like them, the answer is no. Comedy sucks.
I hate laughing.
We're not
As
laughing
I'm
right now at
laughing.
all.
No. Oh my God. Oh, so this is like when you're in a job interview and it's like, tell us a little bit about yourself. And it's like, what? What am I doing here? Favorite comedians. Oh my God. I always like Jim Brewer. He was funny. I loved him in Half Baked with Dave Chappelle, who, Dave Chappelle's awesome. George Carlin, he was very funny back in the day. Um, I love Will Ferrell. I love his movies. He always makes me laugh. And I'm sure there's a lot of people I'm forgetting right now because but Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly together, those two, like Step Brothers is one of my favorite movies. Always laugh. Every time it's on, I'll watch it. I could probably recite the whole movie while it's playing and people get annoyed with me, but
Nah, it's a great movie. You got to.
it really is.
Have they done any aside from Talladega Nights and Step Brothers together? I
I
can't remember.
think there was one other one, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'm gonna have to go and look that up.
Yeah, I was trying to think, but I can't think of anything.
So I know John C. Reilly had the Dewey Cox story, Walk Hard. That was freaking hilarious. Will Ferrell wasn't in that one, but that was really good. Did they have another one? I don't know. I know those two were classics. They were classics in my book. So
I see a
I'm
dog
trying to find it
walking around
now.
in the
do you?
background.
He's going to lay by the door. I
Yeah,
know I'm
no.
forgetting somebody.
I think it's just the two. I
I
Is
don't
can't
it?
know.
find.
Didn't we talk about this before? Like, haven't we talked about Will Ferrell before? Like, I love Blades of Glory, and so many people hate that
Yes.
movie.
That was an awesome
I
movie.
love that movie. And
And
I don't even like Napoleon Dynamite, but I liked him in that movie.
yeah. So Napoleon Dynamite, stupid funny for me. It's just like, it's there. I watch it when it's on and I laugh, but it's just dumb humor. And that's why I like it so much. And the dance scene, kind of want to redo that myself, get the wig and the outfit and everything and do a little short. See how well that goes over.
They did. I found it. They did a Holmes and Watson movie.
That's it.
Oh, yes.
I I did not see that one.
Neither
Uh-oh.
did I.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be on your list of movies to
Yes.
watch, guys.
Yeah, I have a huge list.
Wasn't that a newer movie anyways?
Yeah. I guess they had a rift for a little while from my quick Google search and they
Oh,
Did they
buried
really
buried it. Yeah, I guess so. But no, Talladega Nights is forever one of my
shake and bake?
favorites. I really I really try to get my older son to watch, but he wouldn't watch. But every single time, Ricky Bobby, don't you stick that knife in your leg. And then they're trying to get out. No, cut around the meat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my
Oh
God,
gosh.
hilarious. There's a lot of people that don't like Will Ferrell, and I'm like, really? That's
I pick
weird.
and choose. Like,
Yeah.
there's some movies I don't care for him in them, but then there's movies I love,
Yeah.
like Step Brothers.
Yeah. Step Brothers. It's one of my favorites.
So you're known as JyngerSlapz, which is very close to Ginger Snap.
Hmm.
If you had to choose a cookie to represent you and your personality, which would you choose?
Oh wow. My personality. Hmm. I am a huge chocolate chip cookie fan. I don't know how that would represent my personality, but I have to say, not to toot my own horn, I make a killer homemade chocolate chip cookie. And when I eat them, it just, all my problems go away
And they disappear
until,
super fast.
yeah. And then I get on the scale the next day and I'm like, oh, crap. But Yeah, it has a chocolate chip cookie. How that fits my personality.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what my cookie would be. I feel like
Yes.
I don't know. I'm a weirdo and I'd have to go like oatmeal raisin.
Yeah,
I don't know why, because a lot of people don't like it and I love them.
they're really good. They have to be the soft ones, though. I'm not a fan of the hard ones.
Yeah, it has to be a soft oatmeal raisin for sure. Chris, what would your cookie be?
I'm that Oreo that just got released with the pop rock candy in the middle because I just make you go, why?
That's a good answer. Now, when I
Uh,
was a kid, they had this cookie called the Giggles, and they had smiley faces on them. And every week I'd have to get Giggles. And I think I laugh a lot, so that would probably be it if that was still around, but there you go.
She'd be a Giggles cookie if they were still
Yeah,
around. Maybe they are.
yeah.
Maybe they are and you don't even know it.
They're not, I look. Just
Oh,
just like bonkers
darn.
candy. Can we bring back stuff from the 80s, please?
I want penny candy. I want that back.
Right? That'd be awesome.
100 pieces of candy for $1? That was a
Hell
steal.
yeah. Good times.
Good time.